Hello, hello. Uta Hagen here with my now indoor plant, calendula, that I rescued from freezing. We'll see if I can keep it alive until the spring. If I can, I'm going to plant it out again. But I ordered a more vivid orange one that is called, I think, Alpha at Johnny's Seeds, one of my favorite seed companies. And this is my parsley, one of a dozen or so that I have kept alive inside of a cold frame. These I will not plant out in the spring. This is a bit messy because then it bolts. And that means that of course, parsley we're growing for the leaves, and this plant naturally does what it does and wants to put out seeds. So that means it has to put out flowers, and so it will just if you keep it into the next year somehow, then it will just really work to get flowers out, even if you cut it back down and stuff. So I ordered some new seed, and I will be, planting new parsley. But I'm proud to say that I haven't had to buy any parsley for myself this winter. And what I do is I have some curtains, that I replaced with my fancy bespoke curtains. And so on cold winter's nights, I cover the cold frames where the parsley are. I think I'm also keeping the pipe stem, the what do you call it? Carnivorous plant that I keep kind of slightly in my one of my water features, one of my kind of big buckets. That is my version of a pond. And you'll notice that this frond of the asparagus fern is really taking off. I think I might have to cut it back a little bit, but anyway, it's nice to see things growing and remained connected to nature. So this is Trans Widow number 65, whose pseudonym is Celia. And first, I want to say a word about the name of the executive order on the gender woo. It is Defending Women from Gender Ideology Extremism and Restoring Biological Truth to the Federal Government. And I really approve of that name because it is extremism. There are some people who want to be seen as moderates, even though they don't believe in sex change, who don't like the word extremism in this executive order. But if you watch Behind the Looking Glass at Lime Soda Films YouTube channel, along with the 3 or 4 profiles of us trans widows from that documentary, you will understand why you would call it gender extremism. And I'm, writing some letters to especially GOP Congress representatives who I hope will give the definition of a trans widow in the halls of Congress and recommend Lime Soda Films and Behind the Looking Glass documentary, because our plight is otherwise kind of unknown, and oddly, the helping professions of therapists and social workers and doctors in generally defame us to the detriment of children. So, I haven't gone into with Celia, I haven't gone into, her children's mental state, but, she's out of it now for a couple of years, and husband wasn't cross-dressing in front of them. This might be happening more recently. So, I just want to start with a couple of things she said. I focus on what I can control. good thinking. My home, my health, my mental state, my relationships. In the 4 years since our separation, I have found myself again, and I will never let go. Now, she is in a quite captured, woke area. And just in my vague geographies that I give, it's sort of on the west side of North America, you could say. I trust my inner strength to carry me through the next trials of my life. I trust my judgment, my goodness, my empathy. I am a good mother, friend, partner, sister, daughter. I hope that whoever her siblings are good brothers and sisters. I have self-awareness. I have deep dived into my psyche, ripped open the festering scabs, and lovingly healed those traumas. And I want you to know, when Celia first contacted me, I thought she was going to be one of those trans widows who either hasn't gotten out of it yet, or who is unable, after contacting me and getting support from me and our community here, she still can't bring herself to answer my survey and to, tell what happened. But we have communicated back and forth a bit. And thank you so much, Celia, and God bless you. And she did. She did fill out the survey, and I'm about to tell you the answers. She concludes, I am not a victim. I am more than a survivor. I am finally whole. And I hope that I am seen. I hope that Uta is part of this wholeness, that Celia is starting to feel. Okay, so I guess he is dressing up a little bit in front of the 3 children who are in middle childhood and beginning adolescence. They said they asked him to dress up less when they are with him. That means no wig and fake breasts. And he has respected that so far as I know. They're in counseling. And she says, I have concerns that the therapist my ex agreed to may be drinking the gender Kool-Aid, but she seems to have the kids' wellness as her focus, and I haven't figured out how to talk about this thing that he hasn't even openly admitted doing. I tried to get information on some changes with his employment, and if it might affect the kids. And he said it's personal and our kids are open-minded. Now, I don't know what that means. This is all quite new, and I'm talking with my therapist, she says, about how to best navigate and support my kids and how to question their counselor about these sensitive topics. I think the first thing that is important is to reassure the children that this is by no means genetic. James Cantor and Ray Blanchard are completely wrong, thinking that there is a link, and the detransition of Sam, formerly for 25 years, Maya K on Call Me Sam channel, is proof to that. I just wonder, we need to collect this data somehow. I wonder how many individuals were used as case studies by these so-called sexologists who now have detransitioned, so those case studies should be considered officially evaporated. Okay, so I'm going to go into the survey now. It might be that I have to take this into, part 1 and maybe part 2 or even 3, because I don't like to make these too long. But this is really important because I'm going to tell you, it might sound shocking, and welcome to my new subscribers and welcome back, loyal stalwarts. I do have a new blog, utahagen.substack.com. That will be in the notes. And I think I'm going to start just putting my email in the notes. It's enough already. You can find my email at my old blog where lots and lots of articles are still up, but for some reason I've been blocked from putting anything new on it. I don't know what that's about. That is utahagengrasswidow.wordpress.com, and there is a contact form there. Um, I think you can message me with the Substack thing. And I know that you can like. I wrote a Substack about Celia, trans widow number 65, and you should go there. There's a beautiful photo of me at the age of something like 3 weeks with my beautiful mother, long, long, long time ago. Um, and of course, I'm going to use motherhood photos, you know, as the best image for my Substack blog. Okay, question number one. Was his cross dressing a revelation or your discovery? My ex husband disclosed his cross dressing to me about 2 years into our marriage when our son was 1.5 years old. So this happened in between child number one and child number two that he revealed this. Did he tell you it's under control and not frequent, and then it escalated out of control? He told me he was a bisexual when we met. At the disclosure, he told me this didn't mean he was gay, and it didn't change anything. He had been stealing my lingerie. And so, in a way, actually, I don't know how to, record this because it sounds like it was just as much of a discovery as a revelation. I took him shopping for his own underwear. So I think that means she was buying, lacy panties or something for him because that's what he wanted. And this is the thing, when you are in this kind of milieu, in liberal somewhere North America, all of this, just accept it, tolerate it, don't be closed-minded. All of that is used to gaslight women into staying in relationships that are absolutely psyche crushing. Okay, took him shopping for his own underwear. He had always struggled with erectile dysfunction. And shortly after getting his own underwear, I suggested he wear it when he was suffering one of those moments. Now, to me, I would say I really wonder if he's gay, and especially if he says this didn't mean he was gay. I could see that kind of a statement coming from Nettie. I I'm older and from a very traditional background, and I wouldn't take a chance with a man who says he's bisexual. That's just, I would say, oh, well, we could be friends and not talk about any of your relationships. But the pressure is on women to, go along with this. I suggested he wear it when he was suffering from one of those moments. It worked. And I hated everything about it. I completely dissociated, locked myself in the bathroom, and cried afterwards. He did not dress up where I could see it for the rest of our relationship. So he's, apparently, I don't know if he probably, wasn't in any counseling or something like that. My guess is that if he relayed this story to a woke therapist, the woke therapist would put all this blame and defamation on the wife for having a natural reaction to boundary violations. They never sought counseling together. Did he, so that's question number 3 about a therapist. Did he put money in a secret account or other venue? Now, I'm going to count this as a yes. She says, I was a stay-at-home mother for our 3 children, and he was the income earner. I did not have access to any accounts other than the shared house account. This is so similar to me, where he could deposit money every paycheck. When we divorced, there was a $35,000 debt that I did not know about. So yes, yes, he secretly spent money. Absolutely. Okay, did he wear your clothing or makeup? Yes, but not with my permission. I would find clothing missing all the time. Did he suggest or coerce or cajole you into sex role play whereby you use a so-called strap-on, and play a male part in bed. He tried. So, yes, he did suggest. The answer to question number 6 is yes. I refused. I was labeled as vanilla. It's just like Ruth the charlatan calling me spunky and traditional. Exactly the same. And, she said it was one boundary I managed to hold, and good for you. It's very important to hold that. There was no therapy that they did together, so a therapist didn't suggest it. Did he defame or vilify you in the divorce or whatever? Apparently, the divorce is still pending, and but there's a legal separation. She waived spousal support and let him have the house and focused on getting out of there. And good for you. If that was the only way to do it, good for you. But think of the financial abuse that equals. Just everyone. Not Celia, but everyone think about this. We have a separation agreement with 50-50 shared custody, and it's the divorce is pending. He never claimed to anyone else that she knows of that falsely claimed that she was verbally or physically abusive to him. He did not attack her physically, but it sounds like he forced some rough sex on her. Like he insisted on no lubricant for her, which is, that's violent, actually. Okay. The forced unwanted sex thing, that's question 11. Force is such a vague term as it applies to marital sexual relations. If you're scared of the man, scared of his emotional reactions, scared to say no, but don't actually tell him to stop, is that consent? I'm so proud of you, Celia. If you feel it is your wifely duty to submit, if you ask for it only to have some semblance of control, because at least it's on your own terms. Okay, so I don't think the guy even recognizes that he was being rough in bed, you know? And the thing is, he is obviously a narcissist. He had all kinds of meltdowns and rages. And so, she's afraid of his rages. I mean, this is... If you ask me, yes, it's sexual abuse. Did you live below the poverty line? And the answer to this is yes, question number 12. I mean, I stayed for 8 years because I had no means to leave. Even after we separated, I lived with him for a year and a half because he said he could not afford child support. Eventually, I moved into a new partner's home who sounds like a really good guy. And they're together, I guess, in his home. And I'm always glad when this is, the best of all outcomes, in my opinion, because it sounds like the children have a really decent stepfather. And they need one. Okay, so she doesn't know about this possibility that the sharing of Mother's Day will be suggested or anything like that. It sounds like he's not at a point where he's doing this faloofy dressing in front of the children. The children have expressed that they don't want to have that. They don't want to see it. As the children go into adolescence, they will be able to express themselves more and more fully. And my advice is just give them the ability to. In your own individual therapy, she said no therapist has suggested to her that she should use she pronouns. And she found a good therapist who supports her feelings and her perceptions of reality. Number 16, did you lose a set of friends? Yes, all of our mutual friends. Did he start identifying as mother? Not yet, ... Number 18, did he suggest or insist the children, say mama something? Not yet, ... Did a therapist or any of the relatives say that your rejection of him and ending the relationship caused him to decide to live full-time as a female? No, but he's still just kind of playing around with this, and there are a few other stories. Yeah, okay. So question number 20 is, did he co-opt your experience of childbirth using the details of your labors to convince new friends of his female status? So that's again not yet dot dot dot. He's 5 years older than her. And she met him when she was 19, so you know, there has been a certain kind of dominance of him in this relationship. Uh, uh, I guess she went for this idea at a certain point that they have a so-called open relationship, which Ruth the charlatan suggested I should tolerate. And just beware, women who do that. Uh, you can be accused of infidelity then. Um, Ophelia, her husband accused her of infidelity when she found another man. I think it wasn't technically that they agreed they had an open marriage, but he was parading around, being so-called female 24/7. So it's been a few years, just a few years, kind of. All of this kind of came up in the beginning of the COVID shutdowns. There's a lot of gender stuff that hit the fan during that time period. Um, let's see. Oh, a month after she started moving on, she had flashbacks into, um, painful stuff that she had been kind of, pushing into the background. I never really allowed myself to comprehend just how bad my situation was until I had officially left. Once I felt safe, I completely came apart. It's taken several years of therapy and a huge amount of personal work and growth to reach a stable and healthy place. Um, okay, yeah. He's already attacked her for not being supportive of this cross-dressing thing. So really, he sounds like a real piece of work. He had a very serious drinking problem. Um, and apparently that's supposedly better. And Celia, if you do have any proof of that, I would hold on to it. Just, at least while the divorce is still pending. The kids are in counseling, and the cross-dressing stuff kind of hasn't come up in the counseling yet, it sounds like. So, um, his take on it is it's personal and our kids are open-minded. It's nothing about the kids. It's nothing about the children and they're having to go back and forth between two households. And have, their family configuration completely changed. And this will be the last thing. I think I don't even need to do a part two. This sounds like it. I have focused on making my home life a safe, happy, loving place for them, and my partner is a wonderful example of a secure man in touch with his feminine side, while also displaying healthy masculinity. And that is something the ex did not have. So, as much as you can, go out into nature and observe everything. Thank you. Subscribe, like, and share. And see you the next time.